Well, everybody's here, and I'm
We're shocked.
going to call this meeting to order. Verification of posting in
So
minutes.
verified, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Approval of the previous minutes. You all had a chance to read it.
So
Is there any?
wrong with them, so I will make a motion to approve them as presented.
Okay, do I have a second on
I'll
that?
second that.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next thing, approval to deviate from the posted agenda, should we need to?
So moved.
Yeah, okay. And do I have a second? Bill? Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Public comment. Anybody got here for public comment? Anybody?
I'm assuming, Mr. Chairman, when it comes
Sure.
down to that part, as far as on the agenda, that I'd be able to talk at that time then?
In fact, Randy, I'm going to even invite you in for a couple minutes in the closed session.
Sure. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Because I promised you that it would be on the agenda. It is on the agenda. And I want to, for the first couple minutes of closed session, I would ask you to stay for that.
Okay, sounds
And
good.
then I'll ask you to leave. Okay, I'm going to say one more time, anything for public comments?
Mr. Chair, the other thing, if I could be moved up on the agenda for the tribal affairs and the KIP,
It should
I'd
have been an
appreciate it. I
agenda.
do have to get into work yet today.
Otherwise, she's like the very last thing.
Otherwise, you want the last thing?
No,
No, she wants to go right
I
away.
have to go to work.
Okay. Sandy,
I've
we
been there
will.
yet.
Okay. I have no problem with that. Does the committee have any problem with that? We move.
Can we go that right away?
We hit that right away for the amended agenda.
It's
It's an amended agenda.
it was emailed.
Yes, I got it.
You probably
It's on
got
the next page. I got it. Yeah. Okay, Sandy, you're on.
Just was wondering,
Gotta take a seat.
Sociable.
with the KIP committee, there are all the different committees that are represented on there, with the exception of tribal. So we're wondering if we could be added as at least an alternate, since we are working, trying with ho-chunk funds and different funds, at least to have
Social services.
social services isn't either. So,
Well, with tribal affairs, you do get money from the tribes, and some of it has been designated towards some of these.
projects, yeah, so at least we can give some input into what the tribes are thinking of with the money that they're contributing with us. Like I said, at least an input or an alternate. So that, just as a request,
What's on there now? 5, 7?
7.
And I don't
And then there's
know, I don't know specifically when that was set up, if it had to be by certain, I know there's certain departments now that are required to be on there, but I don't know if there's any rule against adding.
So I guess that's why I brought this forward today.
And I'm glad you did, Sandy. The thing of it is, and Jerry hit on it, I was going to say, I think we got to go back to the county board
Right.
rules and change the county board rules, so
Right.
nothing would change until the county board rules.
That's
comes
correct,
due.
but I just wanted it brought to the attention that we might want to look at that in the future.
We're the committee that does that, so I mean,
We are the committee that
We
does
are,
it, that's right.
we are, and actually county board rules can be changed anytime. It is not only right before an election when the rule book is changed.
Okay.
They used to do it years ago, change rules all the time.
It was an option.
it only makes sense. You know, because we're using funds.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's just sometimes they put input into us when they, they don't want to see us use it against them, of course, for their land trust, but different projects, like they love the idea that we put the money towards the park out there in Wittenberg, because a lot of the people in that area use that park, as you well know.
We were going to use it for something else, though, that was kind of questionable as to, is that really what, I can't remember what it was.
The fish cleaning station or some stupid thing.
Yeah, that, I was
Wait,
going to
The
mention that.
55,000 gold plated
Fish cleaning station. You know, and you think, well, is that...
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we do have a rep for the tribal affairs
Affairs Committee, is that the official name now, Tribal Affairs Committee?
It's in the process of being
Okay.
changed. But as of now, you haven't voted on it, so we're still considered the Tribal Affairs Committee.
Okay,
But it would be tribal.
Relations, yes.
whatever the name will be.
Making a motion to take a
Yes.
resolution to the board to change the rules and add a person.
Well, I guess we have to have a resolution, yeah.
Have to do. Take your motion.
Yes.
Second one, Kathleen, drop something like that. You're the chairperson.
I would talk it over with our committee, but yeah, I could.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor to add the Tribal Relations Committee
Tribal affairs.
Tribal
to
Affairs for now.
Tribal Affairs Committee to the CIP Committee. Is there any question to the motion?
Just that we would need to take that to the full county board to get a rule change and then.
Exactly.
Well, we need a resolution. Yeah, we need a resolution. Unless Tony finds some reason that. Of course,
Okay.
whatever the structure is, we could just, yeah.
Any question to that motion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Thank you very much. Appreciate you moving me up in the agenda.
Have a good day at work.
Oh, yes. Get to work, yes, I know. My boss is asking. You coming in today? Thank you, Sandy.
Okay. Let's go on to the next one. I'd like to have Tom cover the management team issues and concerns.
Well, we didn't have a management team meeting after the last county board meeting, so we don't really have much to talk about. We didn't, like I said, we didn't have a meeting, so anything that has to do with any concerns with management would be in my report. So-
Which is in the package.
Right,
Okay.
right, yeah, so there isn't, we'll have more after this one, because we will have a management meeting after the next county board meeting.
On the 25th.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom. All right, anybody got any questions for Tom on the management team issues and concerns? Anything? If not, I'm going to move on. Okay, review and possibly approve request by the district attorney regarding PTO payout. I want you to understand in this one right now, this was done after the budget. So do we want to
We have approved something after the budget for other departments.
Okay. And you did approve this, Jerry?
This we haven't approved in finance.
But the way I'm reading it, they're gonna just take that money out of different accounts. So it's really not gonna affect their budget, right?
It looks like it was intended to be one of those line item transfers,
Yeah.
which I think that they can do, but we're not their home committee.
Yeah.
Are we?
Did you guys deal with it, Randy? Last week?
Yeah, Jerry, remember this morning in finance?
That was health insurance thing.
Well, there was the other one about, you're going to go into that second part about line item transfers, and that was with the DA's office. And that's the part that was discussed, Jerry, as far as that public safety recommended that it be taken out of the DA's 1%. So that's what we had talked about.
Randy, I didn't hear that.
Oh,
Would you
okay.
just be a little louder? Thank you.
Yeah, in finance this morning, the topic was brought up as far as the DA's PTO request, but then it was also talked about that public safety had approved it, saying that it should be taken out of the DA's 1%. So then finance, I believe it was Jerry, decided not to take any.
Right, there was no
We
action.
didn't take the
I just
action.
went back into my notes.
Yeah.
Well, I know we talked about it.
How could it not be budgeted?
Because it wasn't what I think that when we talked
It's
to
supposed to
Judy-
be when an employee, every time at budget year, the department head is supposed to send around or however, ask each of their employees if they want a PTO payout for the next year, because then it's budgeted for. That is that's the policy that's in place. Apparently, this was not done.
Correct, and we were told this morning, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, that 2012 budget was never really drawn up. There was nobody there. Tom wasn't there, or Judge Broder wasn't there to work on it, and another gal.
But this is for district attorney.
Yeah. Except with the,
I'm getting,
yeah. This one,
This doesn't even
the
say for who.
committee just basically, they never really told us who
No.
it was. No, we know it's not the DA, we know it's not one of the assistant DAs, because they're state employees. So it's gotta be one of the support staff. And, like I said, at the, finance committee meeting, we just decided not to take action. You know, so, I'm not sure where that leaves this committee.
Well, the thing
I
of
would
it
say
is,
maybe-
What's policy in that? It's going against policy.
are we setting a precedent that anybody can
Yeah.
do this?
That's just it, yeah.
But zoning, we had
But-
that, but we took it out of the 1%, didn't we?
Yes.
But we also have that resolution that we passed that allowed shifting within on a line item transfer, which is basically the way they've got this set up. It's a line
Yeah,
item.
so it's no added money, but, you know, they're gonna do it in-house.
See, right now, you're 1%.
We did that, but it's some years. Transfer money from one line item to another, kids aren't supposed to send that basically was.
Yeah,
But then we should,
Right.
we're not the committee of jurisdiction, then I think public safety
Safety
is.
issue, yeah. They wanted the 1%.
we could approve it and let, if public safety thinks they need to do something with this. I mean, we're not talking a whole lot of money.
Public safety acted on this or didn't act?
Yeah,
on
they did.
this?
Public safety acted on it and then forwarded it to finance.
But did they act on this or the, you know,
On-
these lines?
On that.
It would
They-
have been, I'm not sure what the original lines were, but public safety decided that they would send it to finance with the recommendation of taking, the DA taking it out as 1%.
Right.
So it was approved by public safety?
Public safety approved,
Okay.
I believe the vote was for.
That-
But out of
that's what I was
1%,
looking
Out of
for.
1%,
But,
not
but
this.
that's,
Line item.
that's what finance brought up today, you know, this, it all comes back, you know. Finance brought up today that they didn't think that the DA's office had that kind of money in their 1%. And
But
even
this-
though it only adds up to $650.
But this doesn't go against the 1%, this goes on
This would
certain
be a line
lines, three
item.
lines, yeah.
I wonder if Greg is in.
He was in this morning.
Should try
That
calling
might,
him.
that might be the original document that they put before public safety, because public
Sure.
safety, I know, debated it
That's
for
the one to call.
a while.
Call Greg.
And
Yeah.
then they decided
It's
on
a
changing it
six,
from what the DA's
You need
office
to-
had said to the 1%, so that
You
might be
need
the
to
original
wind him
cap that
up
was
for
handed
another
in.
month.
Well,
I think the payout's in February. For PTO payouts.
and the public safety said they were gonna take it out of the 1%?
That's what they're gonna send to finance.
I didn't know, I got a copy of the 1%, I don't know if it's that much.
He might be in court though.
Huh?
We're gonna call and see.
Although Monday, isn't that just like initial appearance day where they, you know, jail? So.
Just about that time.
Yeah.
He is not available. Without the lunch, we could postpone this until later on in the agenda and then call him back after 1.
I feel better doing that than just shooting it back to public safety or something.
Oh,
Because there's obviously, something we don't know.
I'll tell 9 to call back after 1 o'clock and see if he can come over at that time.
Yeah.
They got 0 in that public, in their carryover.
So they can't go that way.
Well, that would be why it's maybe here, but we just don't.
But that's not in front of us, this is a line item, it's not the 1%, so I guess, like, I feel better.
But on the sheet, if they have nothing to carry
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Of course, we don't know that.
Well, it was
We
here.
don't know what we have. We don't have the numbers for last year,
No,
so we have no idea. But if they had 0 before, they probably are.
They wouldn't have much if they had money.
Well,
No,
I'll
right,
make
they
a
don't have much
motion
of a-
that we just table this till maybe later in the meeting in case DA shows up.
Whatever your wishes are.
Yeah,
Yeah, just postpone it.
Or
until-
postpone it, that's
yeah.
whatever, thank
Yeah,
you.
just postpone it.
Postpone it.
Nina's going to call back over there and have somebody over there have him call her when he gets back.
Okay, we'll come back to this then. Let's go to number 8. Is there anything to report on, Debbie, have you got anything to report on the employee handbook
The
staff?
last I heard was an email that said, let's get back to, let's get rolling after the holidays. And I said, great, yes, fine. And I think I copied both of Tom and Judy on it. And I requested a copy of the, because we got clipping through the thing, we got to the halfway point. And I didn't push the recorder because it's like, oh, no, I can just do it on the laptop, which made a lot of sense. But I don't have a copy of that returned yet either. Do you guys? Did anything come here?
Nothing.
At last Monday's meeting that Tom and I were at the Tech in Green Bay, we saw Andy. And we
Okay.
talked to Andy Phillips, and I know Tom asked, probably you asked Andy where,
I think it was Rick
Canada,
as a matter of fact, yeah, Rick asked.
what's happening with the handbook status, and Andy Phillips then said he would get on it to make sure it's not just sitting there.
Do you guys want me to just try redlining through and shoot a corrected version his direction?
You know, right now, I think anything. To be honest with you, I'm getting at least a couple email a week from the department heads.
I mean, I have this
What's the
big
status,
scribbled
what's the
up
status,
pile
what's the
in my
status?
notes and everything, and it made more sense to go through and actually make the corrections on his laptop, but
You don't even have that draft.
yeah, at this point, do you guys, well, you just,
See if it
Why don't you
causes
just,
something.
yeah, why don't you go ahead, Deb, at least,
and then say, okay, here you go, you tell us what's wrong.
Yes, it'll get them moving.
It might be enough to nudge them a little bit further. Because they're not nudging too well with us right
Well, I
now.
can't understand Dan Borowski and Andy, letting this slide so long because they know it's very valuable to us.
I think they're spread thin. I really do. They're
And
so
I'm-
busy with all these other counties and Act 10 and everything that's going on in the state. It's just, I mean, we saw him in Green Bay last week. He gave about a 5-minute presentation on family care. So here's a guy that works out of Milwaukee, Green Bay, 5 or 10-minute presentation. I'm sure he's going someplace else after that, but just that
Right.
he's spread all over the place.
I think they have those couple decisions that came down too that have some potential impacts for all counties
Yeah.
that maybe threw a wrench in it. I'll tell you folks though, it just, when I look at some of the questions that I hear about the employee manual, I don't think that the people that are asking those questions ever read the one that we have now, or are expecting something completely different than what even the proposed draft.
Very well could be. I know there's some department heads who told people in their agencies or their departments that we don't have a union contract anymore. Quit worrying about it. And that I know that's not the attitude to take. But there are some that say that, and it's like, we really have to get this thing done.
Yeah,
People are
even
getting
that's
their-
almost a year ago.
Yeah.
But
And
even the union
that's right now we don't have
contracts
a rudder.
aren't, well, we do. We have
Well,
an
we got-
employee manual.
Right.
Yeah, I've
It's
got a
just-
copy of it right here.
Not,
Well,
a lot of it doesn't apply anymore. So, I don't know, as long as nobody here will get mad at me, I mean, I'll try
Start going, see if something
That-
happens.
this. Oh, thank you, by the way, for mentioning the, where a person could find the job descriptions.
Oh, yep.
On the website. Because that was, some of it is, the draft, the original draft I got sent is, I don't know, maybe patterned after a county where maybe the county clerk does a lot of things, but we have an HR director. And then I was going to ask for your job description. I figured I'd freak out though if I did. But I, just to make sure that I wasn't picking things and moving them in the wrong area. But yeah, that was really helpful, and if they're all there.
Well,
That was our intent, hopefully.
I think
So
this is a
so-
big undertaking for Debbie, and I think she should be compensated for all the time she's spent already and what she's going to be spending on it. And I suggest that we do something about that.
See if we can get some rolling first. I thought you guys had authorized a per diem for the one meeting that we had, but that never happened, so. it's-
Yeah, it was whenever you met,
Yeah,
we need to have a meeting.
yeah, we did.
Way
Oh.
back in November.
Yeah, way back in November,
do the
half a day. There was no form to do, I don't think.
There, the committee approved it, I can make one.
No, we did.
I
I
can look
thought
back.
so too.
We can
But
double, if you wanna redo it now, that would be great. Let me know for sure, and for any future ones, however you decide.
if we can just, if,
Let me know what you think.
She never got that?
I don't, no.
Well, I move that we do compensate her for that.
Just that one?
And any more that she's going to be doing.
Okay.
That's my motion to the floor. To the
A per
committee.
diem?
Right.
I thought you guys already had. but
'Cause this is a
I
big
can look
undertaking.
back,
Could
I
be
can look
wrong.
back in November. I can,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can really act on that motion because it's really not.
This is a very time consuming
Yeah, we're
thing. It
really
takes a
just
lot of
doing an
time.
update. I think
lot of
you guys
phone
already
calls.
I think
did,
I
it
did.
just
let me
didn't
look,
happen.
let me look.
So-
So when would that been,
October?
do we think? Oh, great.
I maybe have it.
Now I don't remember how to go back. I don't know this.
I maybe have it here.
You need a baby hammer?
Oh, I got it.
I
Well,
guess-
it's not important
I
right
think if
now.
we
It
need-
It's
just,
important.
Let's, if nothing,
well, it's
to
more
make it
important to
clean,
get
let's put it on
rolling.
the agenda
Here we
next
go.
month if we can.
Okay,
Well,
so
we
I
already did.
Then
think
we're
that would have
okay
been
with
October possibly.
I thought so because
Okay,
we
let me
met
look.
then in November. Could be November.
All right, I'll look on both. Here I've got October.
So I can go ahead and
Try something.
Start, then get over the dam.
Give him a copy of what you're read, right, and then see what he says.
Well, I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
No, because
we
I
can't,
know
I
it's not
don't
on the
think,
agenda.
because we're.
Have to compensate.
because-
If nothing
that's
else,
not
I'd say
really
put it on
an
next
action.
month to make sure it'd be illegal.
Oh, okay, because it's not on the
It's not on
agenda.
this month's
Yeah.
agenda, even though we may
It was
have-
talked
thought
about
we
in
could
November,
cover-
but it was not
I thought we
acted
could
on.
cover that under employee handbook status.
Yeah, but that's not an
It's
action.
not
It's not-
action, no. That's- I wouldn't be comfortable
Gene,
with that.
it wasn't acted on in November.
Oh.
There was no action by the committee. I have, you talked about administrative guide. NAFKE will be meeting with Dan Borowski from Philip Sprowski to go over recommendations from their firm. Tentative special meeting for administrative was set for October 18th, so there was no action.
But on the agenda item next month.
Agenda item, okay.
All right, then I'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting. Okay. Is that satisfactory with you?
Yeah, because it's, you can't act on
Right.
anything
We'll go
now.
back.
We'll just go with
A
it.
couple months, okay.
I thought we did two.
All right, let's move on. Update and possible action regarding the wage and classification study. And Tom, I'm really glad that you included Menominee College in this.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't have anything to take any action on yet. Tomorrow afternoon, Judy and Nina and Jerry and I are going to meet with Dr. Diana Morris and Stephanie Erdman, who's the head of their business administration department, and a couple of economists that work at the school. And we're meeting at 1:30 at the college. And
Okay.
hopefully at that time, we'll be able to get things rolling in regard to what they can do to help us with the wage study.
All right?
They seem pretty interested. Caught everything, yep.
Okay, that sort of takes up the wage classification study. Let's move ahead. Review and possibly approve resolution regarding the across-the-board wage adjustment.
Who dreamed up this?
We put that on there because the county board, when they passed the budget, put in a 1.5 wage increase across the board. And my naivete showed through very loud and clear. I just thought, and again, I'll take full responsibility, that once the county board approved the budget, it was a done deal. Well, I guess it's not. We have to go through the admin committee, and then I think once again go through the county board to approve the 1.5% pay increase. So we're basically bringing it forward. It's something that was already voted on by the county board when they passed the budget to include a 1.5.
That was in the budget, though.
That was in the budget, you know, and so we're just asking the admin committee to embrace it, and then we'll take it to the county board
Technically,
January.
we still have a pay-for-performance system, because I don't think we have it officially at the board level zapped it.
I was given the authority, I believe I was given the authority to zap it, and I zapped it.
And he zapped it back. It was back in,
Oh, early fall, I think.
I would
maybe-
say August.
Maybe August, yeah.
Yep. Tom had an email going out or sent out that pay for performance as it was, and the evaluations were on hold. Okay, we were not doing anything with it.
Well,
I believe most departments have taken their turn now in not getting a salary adjustment. And I think because we had approved the 1.5 already, I think this should go forward. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that 1.5, what we've levied for, will eventually be going back into our general fund. And I have a problem with levying money for salary increases, not giving them, and then that tax levy going back into the general fund.
It's almost like the county's paying itself,
Yes.
in a sense, yeah.
And we have good employees. 1.5 is not, in my opinion, much of a salary increase.
Is that for
But I think
LTEs, full-time,
Yeah, it just says
temporary,
across the board.
Across the board.
for everybody?
And there's some of them that I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't,
Typically, we have not done LTEs.
Yeah,
Only if they
I
have
think
a
it should be full-time.
permanent full-time or permanent part-time.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we should have put in, and we can change it, make it permanent, full-time, and part-time employees. Well,
how long do you think it's gonna take before we're anywhere with a wage and classification study?
all good, it all depends on tomorrow. And again, I could guess, I don't have a lot of experience in this, but I would think that we should be able to get this done by spring.
boy,
Is
that's
that
pretty
Okay,
light.
summer, fall.
Yeah.
I would
Maybe
say
some help here.
third quarter to fourth quarter.
The way we work, I
Give it
give it
that
2
long?
years.
I would off the top of my head, hope that we would have it before we start budgeting in the budget cycle.
Because there are
Well-
some positions that might end up getting redlined. I mean, it's not
Oh,
that you
sure,
bring everybody
absolutely. I
up to
agree.
their neighbor's highest standard, and are we compounding that and making it worse?
Well, I don't think this 1.5% is that big of a deal, especially considering that the employees of this nationwide have taken a 2% decrease when FICA went up from 4.2% to 6.2%. People are already taking home less than they did in December, you know, so,
I guess
You know.
I would feel more comfortable with full-time employees,
Just putting that in there.
yeah. For all
I'm not a
ages.
full-time employee, what happens to me?
Yeah, but see, and they're in again. You're
I'm only saying that.
contracted,
You're
so I mean,
contracted.
they're.
No, I don't have a contract.
No, that's true, but we have a different set of negotiated things. There's too many. I would probably make the motion to table this till the next meeting and actually show me a resolution. Because this is,
What do you mean, resolution?
We have a resolution.
Yeah, we have, it's in the pack then, number 10.
oh, yeah, okay. But it's,
Let's go back to, everybody pull a resolution up. Because otherwise we're talking from the hip and we're not really looking at, right here it is.
see, that would cover it across the board though.
Yeah, I just,
Everyone,
full-time,
LTEs, part-time.
I would just say full-time, all full-time employees.
We can do that.
We can do that by changing this
That's
resolution,
where, yeah.
right now, amending this resolution.
Yeah, this is your resolution. It was written
Make that a motion.
with this committee in mind.
Yeah, I'll make
so
the
you can
motion
change what
that
you
we,
want.
I guess, we amend the resolution just to state all full-time employees.
But
Other than elected, let's see, who else?
Well,
Don't-
there-
You know.
well, that, yeah. well,
what about our
that's-
part-time, how many part-time people do we have, Kathy? Tom?
I don't even know, Deb. Judy, do you know it all? Part-time people?
I'm just gonna stay full-time.
Okay.
I don't think we need to worry about the part-time.
No.
So all
Part-time,
full-time, so they have their full-time status, okay?
Yep.
What do you want that in there?
Across the board wage for all, let's see.
Where do you want that, Kathy?
That's what I'm trying to figure, on top I put a rate of wage for all.
Oh, okay, I
full-time
see the
employees.
very last one, whereas. Increase effective January 1st, 2013 for all FTEs, all full-time employees, excluding those covered by Resolution 6612.
And that's the one that we just, yeah,
Excluding what?
that's, what here, that's the.
Oh, that's
we
in
just
there,
did,
okay.
yeah.
And then,
So after all, it would be all full-time
Full-time,
employees
yes.
okay.
instead of employees.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Questions to the motion and the second?
I think we need to do this because we have the past 2 years not given salary adjustments to some groups, and I think we're on the level right now where it should go right straight across the board. And in all honesty, we have good employees. I think they need to be treated fairly because they have taken home since WRS went up, contributions went up, they've taken home less. I cannot vote, I'm gonna have to abstain, but I believe we need to be doing this.
All right. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more questions to the
Yeah,
motion?
our Kathy's amendment.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm.
Yeah, 'cause we actually never did a motion to even get this going, did we?
I'm sorry, I meant the amendment, not
Yeah.
the resolution. Okay, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
This is on the.
On the amendment.
On the
Amendment.
That'll vote yes to.
Okay, the amendment is passed. That was 4 and 1 was abstained.
No.
Four
No,
yes.
this is on the amendment.
Amendment.
So it's
Gary-
5-0.
5-0.
Jerry can vote on the amendment.
Oh, you did
Yep,
vote on
yep.
that?
Now you have to take,
Okay,
okay. Vote for the resolution as amended.
Yeah, okay. All right, now we're back to the resolution.
As amended.
A motion to pass the resolution.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second
Okay, motion and second. Question to the motion.
We don't know what fiscal impact is.
Well, we did put it in the budget, yeah, so they figured 1.5 on all the budgets. Yeah, I mean, this group hasn't had a raise in 2 years, or is it even longer than that? Yeah, I just, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I abstain.
One no.
Okay. 1 abstain, 1 no, and 3 yes. Okay, let's go back to the original agenda. Review and possibly approve a resolution regarding the county surveyor.
Who dreamed this up?
Well, Tony and I met. Do we need a motion to discussion, or do we just go ahead and discuss?
No, we can go ahead and discuss this.
Okay, because now we do have the opening on this surveyor position. And initially it didn't bother me, whichever, but as I talked, I didn't realize they answered to more than one committee. So I felt, because of that, they should, the whole county board should You know, there's at least 3 committees, so that's 15 members of the county board, that's over majority. See the positions open.
Well, I really think that you're taking the power of the committee away. My feeling is that if you don't trust the committees that work with the people, most of the county board don't know exactly what the surveyor does, but the committee does.
But I didn't realize, Gene, that it also affected the highway committee and land conservation committee. I didn't realize that at the time.
But they really report to the PD&C committee.
Cannot serve that many masters.
And I feel that, I know that when we terminated the surveyors, there's no difference in a 3-2 vote or a 26 or 27 and we had a 13-14 vote on the county board. It's no difference. The only thing here, I think and I think Bob Kraus covered this on 2 different occasions. You're saying that the committee don't know what they're doing, and I do believe the committee does know what they're doing. And the one case that Bob had was, he talked about when they had the funds for I think they did some cutting for land, timber cutting it was, that's correct. And another one was of the fairgrounds.
So land conservation, true.
Yes.
The highway, actually, they worked, Tim said he would know exactly how much the highway they worked quite a bit with.
Well, I believe you
think
gotta
this
trust
is
your
a bad
committee.
idea. I really do. I think this is a bad idea. I think this whole thing wasn't handled very well, trying to make it into a public circus at the board level too. And in fairness to the people that were here or any future employees, that shouldn't go on. I mean, there's a lot more to the story, and I have
And I'll present more
absolutely.
later too about it.
I'll present it now if you want me to.
I don't know if this would be.
I don't think we should, and I don't wanna
I mean,
get
it
into
just-
it. The war's over, why?
Well, I don't care about it, that's fine, but I'm just looking at the future.
And I really think that you're not trusting your committee, which the committee is made up of county supervisors. And if you don't trust your committee,
It was just that Gene
who
asked,
actually works with these people,
but I've heard after the whole incident that there were other committees that worked with this, and they were not happy with the decision. So I was looking at it as a whole. There's more than just the 5 of us that worked with it.
well, I'll tell you,
Mr. Chairman, may I make a motion to
Yes.
postpone this indefinitely?
you can make a motion if you want.
I will make a motion to postpone this resolution indefinitely.
So that I have no chance of bringing it myself to the county board, correct?
That's right. Because I have a second on that.
I'm no expert on county rules, but I do believe that, and I'll be honest, I'm opposed to this myself, but for different reasons. But I do believe a county board member has the right to bring any resolution forward to the county board. Doesn't need to have a committee approval for it. I could be wrong, but I think that's in the rules. So if you wish to bring it forward on your own, you have every right to do that. We can postpone it here, she can still bring it forward if she wants to.
I think Corporation Council has discouraged such things.
Okay.
In fact, I've asked them.
But
that's
it is
one of the reasons
still,
I'm
I mean, our
opposed to
rules
this, for that
still do
reason.
give that if somebody feels strongly enough against some. If somebody feels strongly enough, yes, you can bring a resolution just as a standalone board member. And we didn't change that out of the rules. It's just here, my motion would be at the committee level to postpone this indefinitely.
Because this was tabled from the planning and zoning up to end.
The planning and zoning defeated this 3-2. This resolution.
No, they tabled it to the
They
end.
tabled-
The year.
Yes, Tim.
I believe what the PD&Z committee did is they referred it to the administrative committee. They didn't defeat it. So they referred it, and the action was, I believe, was it 3-2 I don't know what the exact vote was, but to bring it to the admin committee. And my understanding of this, in hearing Tony talk about it, as long as it was taken to the home committee, regardless of the decision there or regardless of the decision here, you have the ability to take it then to the county board, Kathy, if that's what you are so inclined to do.
I guess my concern is we are starting to set some dangerous precedents by overseeing committees.
I have
then
to
I
agree
would-
with you,
Exactly.
But
Jerry.
then I was asked, why wasn't this brought to, like, the highway committee for their input? Why was it for the land conservation for their input?
Probably because PD&Z committee
That's,
is the main
that's their
committee.
committee.
See, but, see, that's where this comes from, because these other ones worked with the
Well, Kathy,
Look
according
at,
to
look
Tony
at,
Portis,
look at Steve Dreyer.
I
He
did talk
works
to him.
with multiple
Yeah.
departments, but he's gotta have one home committee.
and that's
Tom works with multiple departments, but you gotta have one.
But these other committees really felt out of the loop on this, and they used it, and they were kind
well,
of.
it's the same as maintenance. You fill out the loop, same thing, Kathy.
I don't know, I didn't know what to say to them, you know, when they asked me why weren't we involved in this decision? What could I say to them?
Well, we have to back up here. Oh, glad you're doing this.
They should have done this.
We have to back up here because before we do anything with this, someone has to approve
There's a
the
motion.
resolution, make a
Well, there is a
motion to
motion.
There's a
approve.
motion to table, or postpone
Postpone
indefinitely
indefinitely.
by Deb, there was no second.
But there's no second.
I'll say.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table this indefinitely. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. So it's 4-1. Let's move on. Monthly reports, did anybody have a problem with any of the monthly reports?
Do you want number 12 first, Gene? The green light? You want the green light thing first?
Right.
Oh,
Number 12 first, sorry. Do you want that first?
Where do we?
Before monthly report?
Item number
Where
12.
Number 12.
Monthly reports.
You know
No.
what, you have the agenda, I think you have the agenda that, my rough draft that I sent to you. Here
Oh,
it is.
yeah, okay.
Hey, you're a number off.
That's
Gene.
why,
Number
that's why.
off, okay.
You're gonna get done quicker than we are. Let's use yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is one I really believe in. Review and possibly a possible MOU with the green light grants. I'll tell you why I want the green light grants and hope that the committee will go along with this, is that we could go ahead and have have them work on a buildings grant so that we can cover the evidence building. We could cover the removal of the asbestos in the courthouse and do the roof on the courthouse and make it as a building projects. And if we can get that money, this will be off the taxpayers' back. And I think that we should go ahead with this. It's costing us
But we
nothing.
have nothing to look at, Gene.
You don't have anything to look at because we're exchanging MOUs with them right now. They sent us an MOU, I gave it to Tony. Tony wanted to make some changes to it, and we sent it back to them. So right now, we're sort of in limbo.
Those were the gentlemen that we
We
were
went last
there.
month.
Yeah, yeah,
We were here
yeah.
last time.
They're aware of
So
the
it's-
MOU, they're aware that it's sent back to them, and we're just waiting for them to respond.
Okay. And
This should be
nothing-
done quickly, as soon as they get done with Tony's changes to their MOU.
So we're
Nothing has changed in the no cost unless they get us money and then they
Both
spell
MOUs,
a
both
10.
MOUs. We don't pay a dime
We don't.
unless they bring in money.
It's a
Okay, and then they
win-win
get a
situation.
10% finder's
10%,
fee?
10%, whatever they get, yeah.
I guess I would like to see it before I approve something.
Yeah, we'll have it for you next month.
Okay.
We don't have it today because Tony got it back to me last week, and I'm just getting it over to
A
him
motion
now.
to table to next month, or postpone to next month.
But I want you to keep this in mind because I think the faster that we operate on this, we can get them working on a grant to cover building projects, and we can get some of this off the taxpayers' back and still get something done in the county.
Well, I wanna make sure it's good for both,
Oh,
for the
yes,
county
right.
before I approve something, so, motion postpone to next month. Do we have?
Right.
I'm thinking it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
they
win.
always
They
say
can find
to-
us anything,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
oh gosh, now it's gonna cost us 10% that we've gotta get. Well, it's money that you didn't have before.
Yeah,
So,
they always say, be careful if things look too good.
Yeah, if they're too good to be true.
True, yeah.
then
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
We don't have a motion.
There is a motion, but
Motion
no
to
second yet.
postpone until next month. when we
Postpone
have it.
until next month.
You made that, Ken?
Lipke did, yep.
Okay. Motion to bring this up again next month when we have the MOU. Do I have a second?
Maybe the motion's just postponed till we have the MOU. In
That
case
was
we
Yeah, we
want-
can do that.
Yeah, in
But
case
now
you
I need
have
a
it.
second to your motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Bill. Any question to the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, back on the monthly reports. As you went through your packet, the monthly reports regarding administration, corporate counsel, child support, technology services, is there any question to any of the reports that you've seen that you want to talk about?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, just in front of you, I placed a prototype of a performance eval. And a very simple two-pager. It's, take a look at it. I want to get it into your packet, but
And I like
Get
it,
in.
Tom. I really think it's a great thing. It's a step forward for us in evaluating employees, and I think this is the way to go. It's a quick way. The other way was confusing.
This is clean and simple.
Absolutely.
And we need to do things.
what I want to do is give this to the management team after the board meeting on the 24th, the 25th, then let them look at it, because I know there'll be some departments that may want to tweak it because they're special, maybe highway or something, or DCP or something like that. So I'd like to hold off on approving this until I get a chance to give it to the management team.
Okay.
Let them take a look at it. So this is for you guys to look at. As you look at it, give me a call. Let me know what you think. If you think of anything that should be added or deleted or too vague or not vague enough, let me know.
Well, I like the part where you go through and ask different questions concerning the individual. But the thing I liked about it is that you have the employees' comments on the back and the supervising comments and the recommendation and the goals. Those are the three big things that's going to come out of this thing. And I believe that this is a very, very good evaluation form, my personal opinion, and I want to say you did a good job on this, Tom.
Thank you.
Now, my question then, okay, when we do the evaluation, is it going to be tied to a raise, or what's,
It doesn't have to be.
That's
Everyone
what-
should
should
have
just-
an evaluation. You'd
Yeah,
like
well,
to know
yes.
where you stand,
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
you?
well, that's in common, the
Doesn't-
public has that too all the time,
Right.
every year.
But it doesn't mean that it's a guaranteed increase or decrease either.
Okay,
But the thing of it is that our department heads will know where they stand after their evaluation.
no,
And
this
this
is
is-
for everybody, not just the heads.
Everybody, yes, but I mean, our
Yeah.
department heads and our employees. But they'll know where they stand, and I think this is a good form. And it's something that everybody can read real easy.
I've said it before, and without sounding too overly redundant, but my whole philosophy on performance evaluation is very simple. There's two basic rules. They should be short, and they should never be a surprise to the employee. Employees should know always where they stand with their supervisor.
I agree
We
100%.
almost do employee evaluations daily, just by talking to the people that work for you or work in whose ever department. So this
That's
just
not
sort of
true.
confirms what everybody should already know. And probably document it then. Make it, okay, now it's documented, So we'll give it to the management team on the 25th for them to take a look, tweak, or just say it's fine, and we'll bring it back and then we'll use it. Get approval from you guys. I think that's all we have to do is go to admin, right? Judy, do you know anything else we have to do?
Unless it's tied to something else, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just,
Yep,
yeah.
I think that's all you need.
But this way, it'll get everybody, you're going to bring this on the 25th to the,
To the management
Management
meeting, after
meeting.
the county board meeting.
Or you can give to them ahead of time to take a look at it though? Maybe.
That's a good idea. I never thought of it.
So
I
they
don't think
can
you just
tweak
give it to them, but,
This way they have some tweaks or something.
We can do
after
that.
the 20.
On the 25th, they address
Yeah.
the comment.
we'll do that.
okay. I'm very
We'll get it
glad.
emailed out and have them
Yeah, so
do
that'll,
some
in case
comments
there's
on
some
it.
tweaking that we can finalize it.
Here, you have it. Just like, if you want me to sign it, while I
Yay
got
back
it.
yet? Yay back to lunch? Yay back to lunch yet? Motion to accept the monthly reports.
I didn't hear that.
Motion to accept the monthly reports.
I have a motion, does anybody, second
I will
that?
second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the monthly reports.
Accept them.
We have a
Accept
second.
them.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Opposed? Minus, yes.
Did
Okay,
anyone check on the DA?
That's what they just
Haven't
asked.
heard anything else.
Look, right, Gene, you're clipping right along.
that's what we planned on today.
Well, we can set next meeting date while we're waiting.
We did
to
a
see
request,
the
if
DA.
it works, and I thought it was good for your schedule too, to do a couple months or 3 months in
Yeah,
advance. Does
I
that
think
work?
it works better for you too, doesn't it?
Doesn't matter to me, mine's day to day.
7
right.
kids, 8 grandkids, he's a busy boy.
Yeah.
We should go 6 months in advance.
Well,
Dates.
How's that for showing my age now, huh?
February 4th?
wait a minute, hang in there, hang in there.
We have a meeting in Madison, and the rest of the week I'm going to be gone.
Okay.
Tom is going to be in Madison, Arlen's going to be in
Okay,
Madison.
so that week is,
How about the 11th?
how about,
Hang on there.
I'm out that day.
Oh.
12th?
I would like it now we're getting to Valentine's Day.
Ooh,
There you go.
You're
oh,
busy.
yeah, that's right,
explains
yeah.
that,
so do you wanna go back to
That
like
explains seven
maybe
kids. Yeah.
Friday, February 1st?
It would be better than
Is
When?
that
No,
Friday, February 1st? No, not good for you, Gene?
There, we will have public property that first Friday. of the
Yeah,
month.
right.
That'll be in the morning though,
That's in the
right?
morning, and we could have an afternoon meeting.
The 5th or the 12th, is that good with everybody?
What?
5th or the 12th of February?
Not the 5th.
Not
Okay,
the
the
5th.
12th, how about the
The 4th
12th?
wasn't
Well,
good, right?
Huh?
The 12th
Not
is
the
a public
12th for me,
property,
or
there's a
the
joint public
florist.
property, public safety day. That's a,
Jerry, when
8 o'clock
are
in the
you,
morning.
Jerry, when are you
We should be
leaving?
okay.
When are you leaving for Madison?
On the 4th.
Oh, Monday morning, the 4th.
It would be about the
And I will
equivalent
be
of
gone until
tomorrow, December
Sunday.
24th.
How
So what
about
about
the
the
11th?
13th? I'm out that day.
You're off.
How about the 13th? Yeah,
No,
shoot.
uh,
After then,
after.
18th.
18th.
Okay.
Huh?
I'm good then.
I
Okay.
have finance in the morning, but afternoon
Okay.
meeting would work better.
Okay.
And
12:30?
Yeah.
12:30?
admin at 12:30.
February 18th, 12:30. Would you like care to go for March? So what about March 11th? Monday, March 11th. I don't know if you want to go the week before. We typically go earlier, but since February is so late.
I'm open.
Okay.
11th?
February 11th?
No, March 11th.
I mean, sorry, March 11th?
12:30.
March 11th.
March 11th, okay.
While we're at it, Judy, Gene, then let's meet on Friday, the 8th of March for our agenda meeting then. 9 o'clock, like we usually do?
March
10
8th.
o'clock.
10 o'clock, I'm sorry, 10 o'clock? That's right, you gotta feed those horses.
And then in February, let's do that on
Yeah.
the 15th in the morning. Ooh, well, yeah. How about on 14th?
That's fine.
14th in the morning?
Yep.
Sure.
It's Valentine's.
10
It's my
o'clock.
wife's birthday.
That's all right.
10 o'clock.
She's had plenty of
10 o'clock.
So did you want to just do February, March, or do you want to do April as well?
Well, I've got more than she's got, so
Yeah,
it's
but
all I
I'm
can say
taking her
that.
out tomorrow or Wednesday.
Don't mind doing that.
Wednesday.
Mine's not
Yeah.
April 8th? April 8th?
That's what it is.
It's Holocaust Remembrance Day.
April 8th, we have finance in the morning at 8:30, but if you want to do an afternoon meeting again, that's all right.
I tell you, those can be killers though. Back-to-back meetings, especially
Yeah,
those
but
two
it's safe for
committees.
How about April,
Yeah, that's
April
true, okay, that's
15th?
fine
I
with
think
me.
he's okay with
The
it.
8th is fine.
8th is good with everybody?
All right.
Oh, yeah, that is right next to tax time.
Oh, I'm back.
Is that a problem?
No, I guess not.
April 8th.
So
12th.
Gene, that
Okay.
means.
And we'll meet on the
April
4th?
5th. Oh, Thursday the 4th, you want?
Yeah,
Okay, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
I'll be gone that whole week, so just you and Tom.
Okay.
What day are you guys gonna meet, Tom?
Thursday the 4th. You're gonna be gone?
I'm not gone that whole week.
We're gonna run without you.
I'm sure you'll survive. April 4th, 10.
You're gonna be gone that whole week? All right, that's as far as we're gonna go.
Teaching?
Since we haven't heard from anybody on the DA right now, we're gonna move on to a closed session.
We want to do letters, communications, items for next agenda, or did we hear back that he's still not here?
I think
Still no
there's
word
a-
back.
I have item for next agenda.
Oh, okay. Hang in there. Let's take number 14 then. No, wait, number,
Wanna go with 17? Just
Seven.
I have a
Yeah.
few
items for
things
next
to
agenda, letters,
I
communication?
keep going.
Because I've got a couple items for next agenda.
Okay. Number 17, letters and communications. Judy, have you got anything for us?
Just what we brought up before so far, per diem for Deb.
Yes.
So I got that so far.
Okay, what do you got, Debbie? You got something for next agenda?
Yeah, I serve on the Social Services Board with John Ainsworth, and he had looked into that depreciation schedule. Because we were questioning, we were supposed to get rid of a car because it was time and there was nothing wrong with the car. And we were like, where did this 48 months come from? The only thing he could find in the IRS things, which we don't pay taxes anyway, so what's the difference, is a 60-month depreciation. And the question was, and I've been asked to ask the admin committee, can we look at 48 months versus 60 months? Why are we at 48 months? Is there a reason? And the bigger question would be, okay, does that mean the squad cars, the computers? I mean, do we have everything that we're depreciating on that kind of an accelerated rate?
So basically our depreciations.
The depreciation schedules, I think.
Schedules, okay.
You got that, Judy?
Yep.
Okay.
Anyway, I was directed to ask that question because I don't know the answer.
Well, we'll sure find out.
Yeah. Also, I understand, I sat through one of the finance committee meetings and I understand they're looking at schedule A, B, C, D, E, F, G for the budgeting. But then when they were talking about it because at the social services meeting again, I was under the impression from sitting through finance that committees were supposed to be giving input on the budgeting process, and apparently that's not the way it's going to work.
Diane has scheduled some meetings. She's already had one. There's another one scheduled, I believe, for the 21st and one for the 30th, where department heads are meeting with her to talk over this process.
But that's not, but is that,
That was.
are there going to be departments
Department
though?
heads.
That's what Deb is asking.
Yeah,
Are
that's
the
because we thought the
committees-
committees were
Yeah.
supposed to
Oh.
give some input, or at least that was the impression.
Okay.
My original thought was, and I've been saying this for 4 years, these budget sheets, A, B, C, D, E, F, and how far ever they go,
Or
are
waste.
a waste of time, except for Form B that the Finance Committee sees. The other ones, I pushed this morning to get rid of all of them. Except B, it was amended agenda, it was there, but it failed 3-2 because Diane would like to get some extra input from staff on what she believed was needed. But
But if that could be an internal, leave it internal, we don't need all that stuff.
Yeah, it's
I
not,
think-
shouldn't it be committee input?
with the meeting that's coming up and with the meeting that Judy has been invited to, I think it is in
I was only
this
at one,
committee's,
how many she had?
this committee's
Oh.
best interest to direct Judy to tell that group of people what we believe should be done. And I think Kathy summed it up back in September when she said these
It's in our minutes.
forms were ridiculous.
It's in our minutes that way too, yep.
And I think that's what this committee should direct Judy to go when she has this meeting and say,
We wish to save some trees.
because it's, we have good staff, but some of the ideas that come up are, in my opinion, way too much work. We're creating work as a county, and we don't need to do that. We have some staff that are already maxed out on
Yep.
work. Let's keep it simple. I think we're getting in an area where things are getting so complicated. Let's get back to reality and simplicity.
Is this gonna have to come before the administration committee, or is it gonna be taken care of by the finance
It will
committee?
be taken care of. Arlen made a motion that if we give Diane until the March Finance Committee, there will be a decision made at the March Finance Committee meeting on what forms we will be going with, or what we will be going with. I am still not in favor of.
Because if you've got until March, I feel better if the home committees could have some input too, because they're the ones that look at form after form after form that don't apply.
And you need to also look at what is the cost of doing these forms. There is a
Right.
cost, there's a big cost in filling out all these forms, especially for large departments that have all kinds of programs.
Right.
A small department, maybe not, like circuit court.
There's
Right.
still a cost. That
There
takes
still
somebody
is a
time.
cost. And your dad asked Diane to get that information from the departments and home committees. What cost is associated with doing all these forms? Doesn't already cost them. So many people are doing them. What is that cost? Kathy, what's your thought on those?
Yeah, I've said it for probably as long as you've said it, maybe longer. We don't need those forms. They don't do any good to us.
And like I said, the finance committee has only ever seen Form B, so these
Yes.
other forms we don't.
That's all,
see.
yeah, we
And the
don't need
same way
them.
with the 2-year budget.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Yep.
A 2-year budget is a guess.
Yep. Well, one you could, yes. Two is way, yeah.
The PTO payout?
Oh,
And we were confused. And then the question was, is Greg in?
Is that coming out of the line item or your 1%?
Well, I was told that it was supposed to be adjusted out of our line items, so that's what we did. Simple as that. And I was told that when Dawn put in for this.
This is for Dawn because there was no name for it either. Dawn,
Oh, I
some,
thought that would have been all submitted to you guys because I thought it went through public safety.
That's what came
Said it
with
did.
public safety, was this right here.
Yeah, this is what.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this was for Dawn.
okay.
And we got a message from, I believe it was Diane, who said, so if you're going to do this, you have to take it out of your line item because it wasn't budgeted for. And I don't typically budget for PTO requests because as far as I know, I mean, how do you,
For payouts.
I don't anticipate for the PTO payouts. How would you know how much you're gonna, how would you know how much you're gonna put in there?
Typically, some ask like at budget time the employees if they want a PTO
Yeah.
payout because they can receive up to 35 hours.
Right.
And it has to be budgeted for at budget time and then it's paid out the next year.
Well, this is the first time I ran into this,
Okay.
so I was a little bit surprised when they said, well, you gotta take it out of your line
That's why,
item.
yeah.
So I did what they told me to do.
Okay.
According to this, it'd be $660.
But it's gonna be out of the line items.
So public safety knows it's coming out of the line item? This was approved by public safety, or they said something else? Because that was part of the conflicting.
Public safety would have met last week, I believe it was the 9th we met. Public safety's seen, I believe, the same form that the DA has in front of them. And they seen it as a line item. But then they made a motion as to that it come out of the 1% and be sent to finance, which finance looked at, and now it's here to admin. But finance just seen it this morning.
He doesn't
Well,
have
they
that
don't have it, so
1% left.
No, I put it in line item like I was asked to do. That's how I did it. So,
Does it have to go back to public safety now?
I don't know.
Otherwise, can we
So
just
this
make a
line
motion that
item-
it goes into, let's do it.
Line item transfers, I think the home committee just does that. So-
That can be all done by them.
I think it's because it's not, supposed to, the PTO request is supposed to be done the prior year. That's why it's here. It's not an exception to the policy.
I think it could just be a.
I think
But
I
any
can-
line item transfer would be an exception to the policy where you ran
Yeah.
over and.
Yeah, true.
It sounds like they don't have the money
Yeah.
in the line item. They don't have it in the 1%, so we can't go there.
Then you gotta go with
But
it.
I think,
So would a motion to approve contingent on public safety's blessing? Because that's technically the home committee,
Right, there's,
you know.
you willing to make that motion or should I?
Sure, I'll do it.
I'll second.
Okay.
We have a motion, a second.
The transfer, line item transfer done?
Sure,
Okay.
line item transfer.
All right. As
Make this a
presented.
line item transfer.
If he doesn't have a 1%, you can't exactly take it out.
No, we don't. There's zero in there.
As
Who was-
presented in the
Carrie, did you
December
second
12th
that?
meeting letter, document. Why we put the December
Yeah.
12th document to every day then.
Okay, we have a motion. Any question to the motion?
and I think you probably should put in there that it's for Dawn Sumnick.
I got that, thank you.
She made the request.
Any question to the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
12, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Craig,
Sorry to
for
keep
taking
you
time
waiting.
to come up here.
All right. Have a good day.
2 minutes later, it's solved.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I still have for letters of communication, I do have one thing.
Oh, you do? We're back
Yes,
on that,
I
okay.
want this committee to be aware on 9th, company to the north submitted 23 plats of survey and 8 tie sheets to the planning and zoning. The question is on the tie sheets, the company should be reimbursed $75 for each one. These go back to 2008, 2009, 4 of them from July 6th of 12, 1 December of 12, and 1 January 8th of 13, which would be no problem, the last 2. The problem is, we need to have a county surveyor to review all these. The state will not do these tie sheets. So these $75 for each one that it costs, plus we have to hire somebody now to do these, because they're so outdated.
They have to be redone.
Well, they have to be looked at and reviewed. They have-
What are they?
They are tie sheets.
Tie sheets?
23 plats of surveys were submitted on Wednesday. Monday was our last day, we had a county surveyor on staff. But Wednesday, they submitted 23 plats of surveys and 8 tie sheets.
Can we get obviously, we're gonna be putting an ad out there for a
Yeah.
surveyor.
Yeah.
Can we, Jim, can we get a surveyor to come in and look at it, other than the ones that submitted?
I don't think we could, but as long as you pay them.
Go ahead. Not without an agreement. You know, so that's what I've been working on, just to kind of bring the committee up to speed on where we're at with the full picture. But certainly there's a gap between the previous surveyor position and when we're going to have someone take that position over. So we had a short-term need. We feel for the most part we've filled that. We have we don't have to have a formal agreement according to Tony, but we do have the state who provides that service to review CSMs for us. And we've talked with the state and we have that in place.
Okay. That was voted on by the committee.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's from the CSS.
Yeah, the committee did direct that we do that, and so that's in place. So we're covered for CSMs right now. That review fee from the state is $100. Okay, so we worked out how that will be paid and everything. As far as subdivision review, we really haven't had many of those over the years, so I guess we'll address that if that were to come to us if we have a subdivision plan. As Kathy had talked about, The tie sheets are something that a surveyor has to review. This is related to another project as well, but as you view this, it's the PLSS, or the Public Land Survey System. And it's not to be confused with the project that we have going on with Stockbridge Muncie out in the Red Springs, Bartlemay area. But it is very similar in that that project is filling in the gaps for the points that we have the grid across the county. Well, these tie sheets are corrections to or establishment of other points in, say, like a town like Westcott. I think there's a couple here that involve that. So you still have to have a surveyor go ahead and review that for compliance according to standard to make sure that it does fit. So I've been working on being able to do that. The RFP, part of this, the long-term solution for a surveyor, I was hoping to get, I may not get that out this afternoon, but I was hoping to be able to go ahead and do that. It'll be either this afternoon or tomorrow, and we'll have a submittal period for that. And we'll decide what we're going to do long-term for a surveyor on that. So,
But my question is, we're talking 4 years, 3 years, 8 months. Is that typical?
No, it is. It's not typical, and I did contact our previous surveyor, and they're going to take a look at their records. There were some that we thought maybe were submitted and reviewed previously and denied payment for one reason or another, and that we have to follow up on that. They weren't able to completely go through those records for us on that. But that's what we're trying to do to see, if a determination was already made on some of these that are dated and why, so that we can respond back to the person submitting those, or the firm submitting those. And then we'll move forward. And obviously the tie sheets that were more recently dated here, that we can have a surveyor review now. So I think, I did have a meeting.
So
Go
those
ahead.
things go back years, and we had a
October
county
10th, yeah,
surveyor.
but they never were submitted. Or they were, we don't know.
We had a county surveyor, and now all of a sudden these become an issue.
They
Yeah,
were
because
just
they
submitted
submitted
on
They
Wednesday.
just submitted them on Wednesday, 2 days after the last survey.
Who submitted them?
Company.
Nordine and Associates.
They're the only ones?
Yes, sir.
They submitted 23 plans and surveys and 8 tie sheets. The 8 tie sheets are what cost us not having a review.
We should be able to have that reviewed either with the.
So my question, Gene, is we had a surveyor, I don't know when we actually started. Well, why weren't these submitted back in October 10th of 8, January 7th of 9? 4 of them were July of 12. And these last 2 were December 12th and January 8th.
We're not going to rehire a surveyor
No.
over a committee's.
No, I don't care, but I'm just saying this is an added cost that we have to
I
be able
know.
to pay now.
You guys are probably going to have a special meeting for planning and zoning.
Because this, I just got notified, this came Wednesday.
Why wasn't this brought to planning
I
and
just-
zoning before it was brought here?
Because I just got notified of this on Friday and they submitted it on Wednesday.
Okay, well, that shouldn't have come
Well, I'm
to this committee.
letting everybody know what's going on.
This
out
is
there.
Probably
fine.
going to have a special meeting or something.
I'm just letting everybody know what's happening out there.
I think we need to get a surveyor on board as quickly as possible. Neutral surveyor.
This isn't on the agenda either.
No, this is just on my communications. I'm just letting you know that this is going to be an added cost to the county too now.
Okay, we'll take it into communications.
So are you recommending us to have a special zoning meeting on this then, or?
I would,
I think your own committee should.
That's what I'm wondering. I guess I'm looking.
That's how I saw it.
If
I
we
mean,
want
I'm
us
on
to have a
it.
special meeting. at
I'm on the
planning and
zoning committee, I don't know nothing about this.
No, because I just heard about it Friday. So
Well, Gene, do you understand the time frame? It was last week, Wednesday.
I understand that, Tim.
Okay.
But they submitted bills to the county.
And I
So
guess,
we can't be paying these.
we don't have to, I mean, we have to let the firm that submitted know what our time frame is. And obviously, because we don't have anybody on board right now, they're just going to have to, try to be patient with us until we can get that solved. But we're working through the issue, so.
Okay. The communication's done?
Yeah,
Okay, that's,
just don't pay for them, just don't pay them until after.
Well, they have to be
Yeah.
reviewed. I can't
Yeah.
sign it off on anything.
all right. Any letters, Judy?
No.
Communications done, items for the agenda completed?
Yep.
Okay. I make a motion, I entertain a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second that motion.
Did it.
I did.
Oh, sorry. I'm like good here and I can't hear.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Debbie?
Aye.
Bill? Jerry?
Aye.
And Randy, I want you to stay in here and the rest will have to. As far as I'm concerned, none of the items that was covered in closed session will be acted on in open session. Is that the consensus?
The only thing is, we're gonna conduct the performance evaluation next month for the administrative.
Yes.
team.
And we are gonna conduct Tom's evaluation next month
New forms.
on Tom's new form. That we will do. So, if anybody got anything that they'd like to cover in this meeting other than what
Next
we've
month,
already
the
covered?
agenda's gonna have to-
If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Also move to adjourn.
I will second that.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I want to thank you for a very, very good meeting.